What's up, guys? Welcome back to RealReefingTV. I'm Cody Greats, and I'm here to help you save time, money, and frustration in the real reefing hobby, sharing my experiences and knowledge. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the calcium reactor situation on my 300-gallon reef tank. Now, just recently I posted on Instagram and Facebook a big box that came to me in the mail from Marine Depot, and it included a large calcium reactor. I'm upgrading from the Corallon 3000 to a brand new Aquamaxx T3 series calcium reactor. This thing is absolutely dope. So as you can see here, this is kind of the current situation, and this is an absolute beauty of equipment. I mean, the blue, the white, the clear acrylic. I love that I'll be able to see the actual calcium reactor media in there just so clearly. And the ease of use of this thing is absolutely awesome. The thumb screws just make it very easy to take the top off. So I started taking everything apart and getting it prepped for the new equipment. Now I took out the pH probe off the Corallon calcium reactor, and this is how I had to take it off. You have to have a wrench, you have to have a screwdriver, you have to maneuver through all of the different piping on top. It's kind of annoying. I mean, it worked out. It's really well put together. I mean, like, as far as the durability of it, I mean, things built like a tank, but it's just such a pain in the rear end. And why are there so many tubes and connections on top? And then when you fill it up, you have to make sure that it lines up with the downspout. It's just a nightmare. So anyways, we get everything out, and I really thought to myself, like, what am I going to do with this auto top-off reservoir? Because I really don't want to have to put it on the right side of the tank. So I measured, and it actually fit right on that right side and slid all the way back. I mean, I couldn't have planned it any better than that. It's like I know what I'm doing or something. Actually, I had no idea what I was doing, but I'm glad that it fit. Now, the CO2 tank and the regulator fit right there in the right, and then bam, this thing just slid right in like a glove. Now you have to take this the actual pump off, which it has nice unions. Thank you very much. I cleaned out the media and put it into the new calcium reactor. That stuff was pretty sludgy because there's no pre-filter on the Corallon, but on this new Aquamaxx T3, they have a little pre-filter in there. So as the aquarium water comes in from your sump, dirty water, and goes through that pre-filter, that sediment gets filtered out there, and then it goes into the reactor. So it's a nice feature. I don't have to worry about the downspout moving around too much on me. So anyways, I really am filling it up with some two little fishies reborn media. I just really like this stuff. I like how coarse it is. I like how just natural it is. And yeah, so I've been going with it. Anyways, top's really easy to put back on. Kind of takes a second to kind of line it up, but once you do, it plops back on, twists into place, and you're good to go. pH probe goes in. Oh wait, gotta put that thing on first so that you can tighten it down. All right. Maybe you want to leave a couple of inches for the pH probe to be able to be down in there and not be ground down into all the calcium reactor media. This keeps it working nicely, keeps water flow around it, and all that sort of good stuff. Now this thing's kind of cool. So this is the assembly that clicks into those thumb screws, and there's your little pre-filter on the left there with that little doohickey hanging off of it. So it's like a pinch valve, so that the water comes through. You can actually regulate the amount of water going through it. Now, the way I use the calcium reactor, I don't need that thing. So because I use a peristaltic dosing pump to regulate the water flow through the reactor, I don't need that pinch valve. So I took it out. And then you've got that bubble counter there on the bottom. I really like how the bubbles come up from the bottom instead of the top. So in the Corallin, it had a tube that would send the CO2 down the tube and then bubble back up through the bubble counter. I really didn't like this too much because, I don't know, it just aesthetically didn't really work for me. But I do like the way that this one works. So at any rate, you have to take these little blue clips off of all the connections. Those little blue clips are, really meant to secure the tubes into place so they can't be yanked out of there. Now, if you try to yank them out without taking those blue clips out, you probably damage the connectors. So be wise to take those out and put them back in. It just keeps everything in line. Now, the way I hooked this thing up logically made sense in my head, where the water comes in and goes into where the water is going to be pumped out and then down the downspout. That made sense to me, and then the CO2 would run in and then be chopped up by the pump along with the water coming in from along with the water going out to the tank, being the effluent, drip back in. But I guess that didn't really work out, as we'll see later on in this video. Now, watch me fiddle with this for about 3 seconds. And fiddle with it again, because I put it in, and I shouldn't have. Not yet, anyways. All right, so let's get the peristaltic pump put back in. Try not to drop it in the water. Well, anyways, here we go. All right, so now I got to get the actual recirculation pump hooked back up. Unions, thank you, Jesus. So what you'll do is you'll fill up the bubble counter with RODI water, or even tank water for that matter. I used some fresh RODI, and I just took my Aqualifter pump and had it pump water into it. Now, as you can see, there's a check valve on it, and that check valve keeps the water from coming back down. And then I just hooked up that same line up to my CO2 regulator, and that'll just keep everything going in one direction, so the water can't flow back into my CO2 regulator and screw the whole thing up. All right, so here you can kind of see the comparison between the two. Now, the Aquamaxx T3 is 8 inches in diameter and 20 inches tall. It holds about 9.9 liters. Now the Corallin C3002 is 4.5 inches in diameter and 28 inches tall. This means that basically there is about 2 times the media capacity inside of that Aquamaxx as there is in the Corallin C3002. Now, I'm sure there's some math whiz out there that's going to give me some sort of volume calculation on the two, and please do. I think that would be awesome. I'm pretty sure it's about 2 times the size, or 2 times the volume. But by all means, please tell me how many cubic inches are in each of these cylinders. Let me know in the comments below. So now we have to replace the salt water that we used in this new calcium reactor. I mean, obviously it's larger volume. We had to fill it up with salt water, and I took the salt water out of the other calcium reactor. I wasn't just gonna dump all of that 6.5 pH water back into my tank, so I dumped it down the drain. But we'll just go ahead and mix up some water here, some Red Sea salt, and we'll get her done. Just real easy. I don't need, a whole bunch of pumps and all this. Just go ahead and mix it up. Come back 10 minutes later, crystal clear. go ahead and dose it up till we get to the point of that flow switch turning it off. Keep everybody happy, no leaks. All right, so now we've got it churning. We've got water going through it. We've got CO2 pumping in it, and it is yeah, she's chugging along. The only problem is here in the configuration that I had, basically it would fill up with the air with the CO2 and it would get airlocked. Now what's really nice about this Aquamaxx pump that they have on here is that it is thermally regulated. Basically meaning if the pump gets too hot, it will shut itself off, which is a really great feature. So if you have a problem like I had here where all this air just kind of builds up in here and then it shuts itself off, it won't overheat and burn up the entire pump. Now, I had to reconfigure based on the specs that they gave me, and I have it going now, and it's been running for 5 days without an issue. It does still have some air bubbles running around in it. However, it's not airlocking. It's not getting to the point where there's so much air in it that it just stops running. So if there's CO2 and it's being, you know, recirculated inside of there, that basically means that I need to use less CO2 to get the pH down, and I'm all right with that. So if it saves me some money in the CO2, saves me some money, you know, I'm happy with that. All in all, I think this is a great purchase. I'm really happy that I put it on this tank. I'm sure there's other CO2, or I'm sure there's other calcium reactors that are absolutely awesome. I've seen Geo's reefs, they look sweet. There's other reactors out there that look absolutely stellar, but I really like this one. I think it fits well in my tank, the footprint and the capacity of it. So I'm glad that I added it to my system. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. You know, we've got room. You can be a free subscriber if you want to. That'd be pretty dope. And I hope all of you have an absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving 2019 style. We're gonna close it out big. We're gonna get some updates going on some of my other tanks, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your year. We'll see you again very soon. Later. By the way, I'm doing a little peace sign because you can't see me, but I'm doing it like I always do. All right, bye.